Assalamu alaikum. Are you trying to get into a relationship with possibly a westernized Muslim? Now, whether you're a woman or you're a male, we're going to be discussing the dangers of what happens if you do get into this relationship. Because I will admit, it does look tempting to be in such a relationship. What do I even mean by a westernized Muslim? Come on, man, what does that even mean? Let's get straight into it. I'm going to define a Western Muslim as such. And I want you to guys let me know if you kind of know what I'm talking about. We're going to list the first one on the list. Bam. A non-Islamic centric individual. A person who doesn't center Islam over every single decision that they make in their life, especially big ones, and definitely not the small ones. Okay, no big deal. Faraz, can you help me define more of what a Westernized Muslim is? Sure. How about this one? A person who prioritizes their own happiness over Islam, over their religion. Or a person who has Islam come after every decision that they make. Or it's always the second thought. It's never the first thought. It's never what does Allah and His Rasul say about this situation. It's never about that. It's actually what do I feel like I should do, what I want to do, what my wife wants to do. And these people are Muslims because it was passed down. These are individuals who had Islam passed down, but they do not necessarily practice it. They'll go to an Eid prayer for the vibes, honestly, just so they can wear the outfit. They'll maybe make it for Jummah every single Friday, inshallah, hopefully. I'm not saying these people are not Muslim. Please don't get it misunderstood, okay? I'm just saying that they're westernized Muslims. They're individuals who do all of these. Now let's move on to the positives of why people even consider marrying a westernized Muslim, whether male or female. Let's begin by the first bullet point of the positives of why you should marry a westernized Muslim, or not necessarily why you should, but why people do. Because number one, it's easier to maintain. They have less of a backbone, to be very honest. They have less of a backbone, they have less structure of morals and values in their lives. So you can dress how you want, you can go wherever you want, you can talk to whoever you want, you can skip prayer because the prayer is kind of coming in the way of your schedule type of thing. These relationships are easier to maintain because they have less restrictions. For the woman, she's very interested in marrying a man who is a westernized Muslim because he has less restrictions. He has less of a hold on her. He's gonna object to less things. If she wants to go out wearing something, he's gonna object less. If she wants to engage with the opposite gender one-on-one, he's gonna engage less with complaints and etc. And him, for example, we can talk about the men as well. The men could be DMing many women on Instagram and talking fun on Instagram, but it's totally fine because, dude, this is my space, this is my privacy versus your privacy. All of this stuff is very easy to maintain in a relationship when both parties are not restricting each other or holding each other to a certain degree of accountability. That's why it's easier. What's the second reason? There's more freedom in this kind of relationship. I will be honest, this is a more of a casual type of relationship. I'm gonna be honest. You guys are physically together, if you know what I mean, but you guys are technically roommates, to be very, very honest with you. Because at the end of the day, the man does not hold the pants, generally speaking, in westernized relationships, in westernized couples. The men usually most definitely do not carry the pants in the relationship. They are not the leaders of this relationship. This is a lot of freedom for the woman. Why would a woman not want to be a westernized Muslim? Why would she not want to be with a man who lets her do whatever she wants? And it's easier to maintain. And of course, this Western Muslim man is a lazy individual. He doesn't want to have a wife tell him, go get up and pray your prayer, go get up and do tahajjud. He doesn't really want to listen to all that, brother. And guess what? It's easier, it's more freedom. These are the positives of the westernized relationships. But does the positives outweigh the negatives / the dangers? We are going to find out in the next slide. Let's go. Well, let's begin by the first danger or risk or the negative thing about a westernized relationship. The danger and risk is that they live the rest of their life comfortable in this relationship. Bro, what? I thought you were talking about the dangers of this relationship. How is this a danger? How is this a negative? Because, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you recall, but this couple is a non-Islamic centric relationship. They do not value Islam. Let me put this out here. This is not a relationship that is centered around Islam. So if they live comfortably their whole life, they don't experience the discomfort of having to get up for Fajr. They're never going to experience the discomfort of giving the zakat. I'm just giving many examples. They're not going to experience the difficulty of a woman wanting to go out a certain way, but remembering modesty in Islam and covering herself fi sabilillah, not for her husband, for the sake of God. She's not going to experience that kind of difficulty. A man is not going to ever discover the difficulty of wanting to gaze at every single passing woman who walks by, and instead what he decides to do is become uncomfortable by lowering his gaze. Why? For his wife? No, for Allah. This is why if you live comfortably your whole life, this is actually a negative thing. Which prophet can you name lived a comfortable life? Every single prophet and every single Muslim faces certain difficulties, what I call challenges in life, in order to change and evolve as a Muslim. So if you are not going through difficulty or discomfort, you're not growing. This is why this is detrimental, because this means they're going to live their entire life comfortably, which means their whole entire life they're going to live without Islam. You heard? Oh my God, bro. Guys, like, comment, subscribe, brother. After that bar, I'm spitting bars, bro. This better be recording still. I'm spitting bars, brother. You better have liked the video. Allah Mubarak. Or make a dua for me. Wallahi. Now, this is the second reason why this could be dangerous. The second danger is if the person in the relationship, one person or another, decides to change for the sake of Allah, who decides all of a sudden Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives them wisdom, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives them guidance, and all of a sudden they say, you know what, dude, I'm going to start wearing hijab. Or you know what, I want my wife to start wearing hijab. Or guess what, I don't want my wife talking to that guy anymore. Or the wife, I don't want my husband to be talking to these bunch of women anymore. I want him to unfollow all these women online. Here's where the problem kind of sets in. If someone changes in the relationship, this causes a misalignment. This causes a vision that is not in alignment with the other. What could that lead to? It could lead to divorce. This is the best case scenario. If you are already in a westernized relationship, actually this is not the best case, this is middle ground. The best case scenario is both of you guys turn to Allah the same exact time. Subhanallah. It can happen, you know, and you guys stay in the relationship and you grow from there. That is beautiful. Allahumma barak. But this is a positive compared to this. You would rather live a life as a divorcee rather than living your life comfortably without Islam. If God has guided you all of a sudden in your relationship of your westernized relationship, and now you and your spouse are in misalignment on your views and values because you want to go towards God and the other one still wants to continue his individualism, then you are better off as a divorced person who is on the right path to Allah, versus a person who lives their life for themselves and lives comfortably their entire life. That's just a danger, that's just a risk. It is what it is. The reason why a divorce could happen is because in a healthy relationship, what must happen, what must be in this relationship for a healthy relationship is mutual shared values and vision of life. If the husband sees life the same way you see life, of course it can vary a certain degree, then that will be healthy. Because if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is central in my life, and every decision I have made a decision to make it for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala before anything else, and my wife sees it the same exact way, then guess what? This is going to lead, inshallah, to a healthy marriage. That's the only way a marriage can be healthy, and that's the only reason why the person could end up in divorce if one person changes. Does that make sense? Now for my final quote, I'm going to quote something for the westernized people. If you are in a westernized relationship, there's only two possibilities. It's either going to be forever or it's going to go down in flames. Do you guys know do you know what it's from? Taylor Swift, brother. And it's going to be forever or it's going to go down in flames. Guys, like, subscribe, let me know what the next thing is going to do. Whatever you want for the next video, let me know. I'll put it in, inshallah. Peace.